The economic history of the United States began with American settlements in the 17th and 18th centuries. The American colonies went from marginally successful colonial economies to a small, independent farming economy, which in 1776 became the United States of America. There have been as many as 47 recessions in the United States since 1790 to Great Recession, 2007. 19th century. In 180 years, the U.S. grew to a huge, integrated, industrialized economy that made up around 1/5 of the world economy. As a result, the U.S. GDP per capita converged on and eventually surpassed that of the UK, as well as other nations that had previously trailed economically. The economy maintained high wages, attracting immigrants by the millions from all over the world. In the early 1800s, the United States were largely agricultural, with more than 80% of the population in farming. In the 19th century, recessions frequently coincided with financial crises. The Panic of 1837 was followed by a 5-year depression, with the failure of banks and then record-high unemployment levels. 20th century. At the beginning of the century, new innovations and improvements in existing innovations opened the door for improvements in the standard of living among American consumers. Many firms grew large by taking advantage of economies of scale and better communication to run nationwide operations. The United States has been the world's largest national economy in terms of GDP since at least the 1920s. For many years following the Great Depression of the 1930s, when danger of recession appeared most serious, the U.S. economy grew by an average of 3.8% from 1946 to 1973, while real median household income surged 74%, or 2.1% a year. The economy since 1973, however, has been characterized by both slower growth, averaging 2.7%, and nearly stagnant living standards, with household incomes increasing by 10%, or only 0.2% annually. The worst recession in recent decades, in terms of lost output, occurred during the financial crisis of 2007-08, when GDP fell by 5.0% from the spring of 2008 to the spring of 2009. U.S. real GDP grew by an average of 1.7% from 2000 to the first half of 2014, a rate around half the historical average up to 2000. Today, the United States is home to 29.6 million small businesses, 30% of the world's millionaires, 40% of the world's millionaires, as well as 139 of the world's 500 largest companies. The United States is the world's largest national economy in nominal terms and second largest according to purchasing power parity, PPP. The U.S. is the world's third largest producer of oil and natural gas. It is one of the largest trading nations in the world as well as the world's second largest manufacturer. It is the world's #1 producer of electrical and nuclear energy, as well as liquid natural gas, sulfur, phosphates, and salt. Agriculture accounts for just under 1% of GDP, yet the United States is the world's top producer of corn and soybeans. GDP by sector. Agriculture, 1.1%. Industry, 19.4%. Services, 79.5%. Population below poverty line is 13.66%. GDP ranks first in nominal with $18.56 trillion, and second in PPP with $18.76 trillion. GDP per capita is $57,300 nominal and $57,300 PPP. Unemployment rate is 4.7%. The President, Donald Trump, is an unpredictable decision maker, and the high degree of policy uncertainty cannot be overstated. The U.S. economic outlook is healthy according to experts. That's because the GDP growth rate will be between the 2% to 3% ideal range. Unemployment will continue at the natural rate. There isn't too much inflation or deflation. Donald Trump promised to increase economic growth to 4%. That could create the irrational exuberance that creates damaging booms and busts. U.S. GDP growth will rise to 2.1% in 2017. That's better than the 1.9% estimated for 2016 and the same as 2015's growth rate of 2.1%. The increase in gross domestic product will remain at 2.1% in 2018 and drop to 1.9% in 2019. The unemployment rate will drop to 4.5% in 2017 and beyond. That's better than the 4.7% rate in 2016. Inflation will be 1.9% in 2017 and 2.0% in 2018 and beyond. These rates are higher. The 1.5% rate in 2016 were caused by low oil prices. U.S. manufacturing is forecast to increase faster than the general economy. Production will grow 3% in 2017, and 2.8% in 2018. Growth will slow to 2.6% in 2019 and 2% in 2020. In the future, China economy will be bigger than American economy before 2030, and India economy will also be bigger before 2050. Some think it will not happen anytime soon. Some say later than that. Some say later still. I think pinning the date where the total GDP size of China and India passes the USA somewhere between 2020 and 2050 is pretty reasonable. But it ain't 100% sure, and I would become uneasy if forced to commit with anything approaching reasonable certainty. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe us.